Now then, guys, it's Nick Bentley back again to do another presentation, just with a slightly more of an update, let's call it. I say that kind of very just off the cuff. It's an awesome update. It's just amazing. So I need to say that with a bit more boom. So I'm coming back with a presentation with an awesome update. A lot of you will know me already. You've seen my presentation before. My name's Nick Bentley. For the people that don't know me, for the people that have come in new, congratulations. You've unbelievably made the best decision. You've probably heard that before, but I promise you, you have made the best decision. So very welcome to the group. Look forward to speaking to you on a call maybe. But anyway, my name's Nick Bentley. I'm 51, married, second time round to my soulmate. Got two lovely daughters. I don't want to bore you, but I'm just an average guy basically. Been in the crypto market, the crypto space for a good while, but never really got into the sort of nitty gritties of actually how it works and the cogs that turn those wheels behind the blockchain, etc., etc. So I'm here to present Hexucation.com. Okay, what is Hexucation.com? Get my words right. Let me just put my speaker notes on. A little bit of a cheat sheet, really. I can't really see it that well, but just in case, I forget what I'm doing. I don't want to miss anything out. Basically, that's all it's about. So Hexucation, what it's about, who's behind it? Basically, start again. Who's behind this? So we have the co-founders, Cliff Williams and Anne. Very humble people, just like you and me. I say that in the nicest way. Humble's nice, but I just mean they're like you and me. They're not big marketeers. They're not big. They haven't got lots of money, or they might have, but they certainly don't come across like that. We've seen all those sort of people before. They just want the average person, just like myself, and hopefully most likely like yourself, from all walks of life, to succeed in life and not be controlled by the central banks, and to educate people on crypto, so to arm them with the correct knowledge. I'm not going to get into the centralized, the decentralized, because this is a DeFi platform, a decentralized platform, because I'm going to go down all sorts of rabbit holes, and I probably won't come back up for a long time. But let's just say this is decentralized, where the community, the people on this platform, in this platform, have the control at last. You go to your Barclays Bank and you have your money in there, you want to get a big withdrawal out. They don't allow it. Certainly not within the day, certainly not within a couple of days. So anyway, I'm not going to get to that. Just, this is decentralized. Okay, so let's get into this presentation. So what does this have to offer? Obviously, I'm going to try and make this presentation very simplified. If I can get my words out and get them just, explain them without going on in too much detail. It's quite hard. I can go off on tangents. I'm very passionate about this, but what does this offer is the question I certainly asked myself when Andrew Murphy, a good friend of mine, introduced this platform to me. Okay, so in a nutshell, for me, there's three things, and again, I'm going to try and keep this simplified so you can make the decision if this is for you or not, and then you can dig deeper. We can have a Q&A, you can speak to Clifford, you can speak to Miles, you can speak to Anne, but in a nutshell, three things. Okay, education, MLM, and staking. Okay, I'll break those three things down individually. So we'll look at education to start off with. Okay, education for me is everything. It's gaining knowledge. We're making mistakes throughout our life, and the only way we learn from those mistakes is learning how not to do those mistakes again by gaining knowledge. I was always taught as a kid, I suppose, if you're going to get anything, get understanding, get knowledge. Okay. And within this platform, it's about the crypto education, okay? And we have three levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And they're really, really good. They go into a lot of detail, okay? And obviously, with the crypto world, it's decentralized, and it's just knowledge that we all really need. We might not realize that now, or we might not realize at the time, or some of you might not. But this knowledge is very powerful, okay? Okay, then, so the next question I certainly ask myself is, okay, how much is this going to be? Is it going to be 1,000? Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 5 grand for the year? I was very fortunate to have my daughter go to university in Durham, but unfortunately it was a lot of money. So, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands. So how much is this platform? I'm like thinking, when I joined, when I got introduced, I should say, it's like, hang on, how much is this then? Right, let's cover that. 3 levels of learning. Beginner is $1.10. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.10. And that is for the year, not for the day, not for the week, for the year. Okay, beginner level. Intermediate level is $11 for the year. Advanced is $55. Okay, you might be thinking, why the 10 cents? Why 11, not 10? Why 55, not 50? That's just commission added on. So when you refer, which I'll get into, that's your commission on top. Okay, just to simplify things. Okay, right. So that's the education in a real brief explanation. Okay, right. We're going to the MLM, multi-level marketing. I can never say that word. Multi-level marketing. Got a bad name, multi-level marketing. Don't know why. Well, I do know why, because there's been lots of people that have, pulled it through the mud. But the actual model is a fantastic business model. And if you look around in every walks of life, most businesses use this model, but you just won't see it straight away. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritties of multi-level marketing. Okay, so we have three levels of learning that we've covered, but we've got 3 levels of learning while earning, or 3 levels of learning with earning, however you want to look at it. Okay, so at the beginner level, you get 10%, so you get 10 cents. So every person you bring in at the beginner level, you get 10 cents. Intermediate, $1. Advanced, $5. Basically, become the product. Why wouldn't you? Why refer something? You don't go, you don't not go to a restaurant but refer it. You've been to that restaurant, you've had your lovely meal, and you refer it to your friends and family. Hey, go to whatever the restaurant is. We had a fantastic meal. So become the product. So once you buy a beginner package, okay, you get an NFT. I'll cover that a little bit later, okay, and that then allows you to refer it to other people. Likewise with intermediate, and likewise with advanced. Okay, very brief. We'll go on to the next bit. How is this any different? Because I can hear you guys saying, okay, multi-level marketing, I've seen it, I've done it. There's a product, it might be a good product. But what's the difference? Why are you getting all excited? Why am I getting so passionate? I'm going to explain. Right. Why it's different is because you don't have to go out and sell like most multi-level marketing models. Okay? And I'm going to get into the exciting bit in a minute. So the first thing is you have 10 levels of earning. Okay? But there's much more than that, because again, I can hear you, I can just see you, hear you thinking, okay, great, 10 levels, 20 levels, and you're going to go through the commissions. But I'm not a marketeer, I'm not a marketer, I'm not I'm not one of those people that go out and refer and can sell. Okay, that's fine, we've got you covered. Okay, so let's just go through the 10 levels first. Okay, I kind of jumped the gun slightly, it doesn't really matter. But on the first level, you refer 3 people, you get 20%. It's $5.20 per person, $16. Rounded up, that is, I think. But it's rounded up and rounded down, so it all averages out. On the next level, you refer 9 people, 10%. You can see the figures, and this is where I can see you going, yeah, but I don't want to refer 9 people, I don't want to refer 27. And yes, if I refer 6 people, they might refer 1 or 2, but this is all very good, getting down to the 10th level and earning $493,994. But I'm just not into referring. Well, what about if I said we've also got that covered? Okay, we'll go into sort of the percentages in a minute, but if I just said, okay, then what you do have to do is refer just 3 people. Come on, just 3 people. And even there, you've got you covered. So first of all, 3 people to unlock the money. You can't earn anything until you get 3 people directly introduced by yourself. Now, straight away, there's not many of you, but I can see 1 of you, 2 of you, 3 of you may be saying, well, I haven't got 3 people to refer. I I just don't like referring any of this. I don't want to refer anybody. Okay, if that's the case, then the business expense, let's call it, of setting up this business, because it is a business, it's a platform that's going to earn you a lot of money. It's just going to cost you a little bit more. So why don't you then, instead of referring 3 people, buy 3 packages to go underneath your first package? Boom. You're unlocked. You're ready to rock and roll. Now, I can still hear you saying, yeah, but what about the next level after that? I don't want to refer anybody. We've got you covered. Okay? Because what happens is you come in here, you don't want to refer people. You just don't want to refer your friends, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your next door neighbour. You have 3 people that you don't really want to share anything with, and that's fine. I get it. I think you probably will with this. Okay, even the most shy ones, or the ones that just do not sell, I think you still will. Those types of people still will. But if you don't, you buy your 3 packages yourself. But after that, what happens is the people beyond you. So say, for instance, you come in here at number 2. I'm here and I bring in Doral here, okay? And she buys 3 packages. She doesn't want to refer anybody, and she buys 3 packages. Fine, brilliant. She now says, well, Nick, I don't want to do any more. I bought my 3 packages. By the way, that's only cost around $61. So, not a lot at all to earn what you just saw earlier, that near on $500,000. But what happens after these 3 here? After Doral's first level, what happens? How do these people come in here? Well, every time I refer, or my upline refer, it goes down underneath and fills in the next available, the next empty spot in the matrix. Now just let that digest that basically. So you don't need to refer it, you're better off referring, because you want to fill this matrix up. So if we go back to this table here, this is the 10 levels. This is the whole matrix in a numbered kind of format. Once the 10 levels are filled, you will earn, you would have accumulated $493,994. Now you might be thinking, that's going to take a long time. Will it ever happen? We are getting in early. Okay, we are getting in unbelievably early. Okay, with the question and answers, and speaking to Clifford and speaking to all the people in the group. If you're new, we're on a call the other day, which will be recorded, has been recorded, I should say, and is in the group. You've got to listen to that recording because a lot of the information's in there. I want to keep this very brief, and I think this will stay to our group. But this is gonna be outdated at some point. We're on the 19th of March. And if this is playing in April or even later, it's not going to really be relative. But basically, the matrix will fill up. It's just how quickly. Now think about it. Look at that figure there. 493,000. Not will I make that. When will I make it? Now, I've got to explain. This is on the $50 package. Okay? So there's the $1 package, there's the $10, there's the $50. So obviously, to refer people for the $50 and to have the $50 matrix, you need a $50 package. This is what I was going on about earlier on. Become the product. So buy a $50 package, buy a $10, buy a $1, $61. Now obviously, to get you 3 people, you're better off having 3 of $1, 3 of 10, and 3 of 50 if you want to make more than $500,000, because this is for a 50. I think the $10 is 4,900 or 49,000, and for the $1 it's 4,900. So you're going to make much more than 493, the $500,000, because you're going to have the other packages which do not cost a lot. Does that make sense? Let that digest in. So if we go back, you get your 3. If you don't want to refer, you can buy the packages yourself. I would highly recommend do them $1. buying the dollar, the 10 and the 50. Okay, you're now unlocked. You're now earning. You've now got, if Doral's now got her 3, and the spillover is going to come from people that are coming in, from the people above, because I want Doral's 3 spaces and those 3 spaces underneath and those 3 spaces underneath to be filled, to fill my matrix. I've got my matrix. Doral's got her matrix. Does that make sense? So it's a spillover. So basically, I've outshot the the slides, but you get spillover, baby. And why I've got baby is just because that's the way it's the only way to be. That's the only way it should be said. You get spillover, baby. It's so sexy. It's so cool. It's everybody helping everybody for everybody to win. Hope that makes sense. Now, if you're getting in on the tail end in 2 years' time, you'll still make money. You're not going to lose, but it's going to take longer, because the deeper the matrix goes, even though you're building your own, the wider you've got to go to fill in those spots. But I'm talking now, we've not launched, and ideally we're going to be launching end of April. Okay, so that explains that spillover, and it comes from above and fills spots underneath. So again, just quickly explaining, the spots are going to be filled apparently each empty slot. So if it's me here, Doral here, and she's got her 3 to unlock her money, this spot here is empty. When I bring in someone, it goes in here, 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 and whatever's not empty. Okay, I hope that makes sense. There's a couple of people that I've introduced that have seen this before on a forced matrix. That's what it's known as, a forced matrix, and it hasn't worked as yet. And I've been in this company for nearly 10 months, 11 months, could even be a year. And I'll tell you why it hasn't. It's because I've got in at not the very bottom, but quite low, even under a very big team leader. But I've come out of his matrix, and even if he's built again and again, it's going to go wide, and I'm still probably waiting for another 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 20,000 people to have the spillover filled before it reaches me. But we're at the top, and on this call, in our Telegram group, the Hexucation Early Funders group, I think there's only 135, 140 people. So we are in at the right time. I can't stress enough. For roughly around $61, this is an absolute no-brainer. And we have Anne and Clifford. They know what they're doing. We have Miles, an ex-accountant that you'll know about, who explained all this, obviously much better than me, who kind of invented this. It has been done before, but has seen this model, obviously, and loved it and has implemented it. It is slightly different to what I've seen, I must admit. It's not fair to say exactly the same. But see how this 30% at the very end, how clever is that? So let's all get down there. There's a massive carrot incentive at the end there, because it goes up to 30%. How cool is that? Such a clever idea. I believe that was Anne's idea. So a good cheer for Anne for that one. Brilliant. So that brings us on. So for the people that have listened to my call before, this is all now going to be repeating, but I might as well just keep this under one package, under one presentation. So what else does this have to offer? Because still going back to the MLM and how different this is. This is crypto education, DeFi. This is the new version of multi-level marketing, which I'll explain in a little bit more detail. Obviously, you've got your 10 levels, you've got spillover, but this is on a smart contract. Now that is just makes or breaks it for me, and that really made me decide that this is definitely for me, because it's on a smart contract. It's going to be audited. It's going to be I always forget the word. It's going to be verified, but it's going to be audited, and audited is the main one by a third party. Basically, on a smart contract, it's immutable. Once the trigger is pressed and it's gone and it starts, excuse me, it's no stopping. There's no stopping it. No one's in control. There's no governing body. There's no boss. There's no commander. It just runs with criteria that's met within what we're doing. So if you have an NFT of a $50 education package, you can then refer, and it recognizes recognises that criteria. Very transparent. You'll be able to see what's going on the blockchain within the smart contract. So very transparent. The longevity is amazing, which brings us on to staking, which that's the third one that I need to mention. It's DeFi, I mentioned that earlier. It's immutable, can't be stopped. It's just going to go forward. It's not going to stop. It's on the blockchain. NFTs are involved, which I've briefly explained. You get an NFT if you've got an education package for 50, or an NFT if you've got an education package of 10, etc., etc. And therefore, you can then refer those packages. Automatic withdrawals. Now, come on, have you ever heard of it? I mean, I've seen it here and there, but not with good companies, not with good companies that have got a smart contract that is audited, verified. I've never seen audited. Automatic withdrawals, I'll cover this obviously later. Every Thursday, 23.59 UTC, bang, straight into your MetaMask wallet. I mean, what more do you want? There's no waiting for it. There's no, the withdrawal's Thursday, it didn't land. Or I put a withdrawal request in and it says you can't get it, we've been hacked. You can't get it another 7 days, another 14 days, another 21 days. It starts swearing in a minute, so we need to pass on because I've had all that. We've not got that with this. Automatic withdrawals. Right. So a lot of this now I've kind of probably covered because I've updated this presentation and there's bits where they kind of overlap. Can I earn a passive income and how? Yes, because you unlock with your 3 places that you either refer or you buy yourself. Spillover comes in, so you're gonna earn. If you just want to sit back, I wouldn't recommend it. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you help people in the poorer countries? Why wouldn't you help your next door neighbour that might be just needing some extra money for bills? But if you really want and you're not really worried about getting to that end of that matrix quickly, you could sit back and money's going to come in. The speed of that money is a different matter. Okay, so I've answered that really already. So we've covered education and we've covered multi-level marketing. Third one, and I keep saying the what's the word? The break of the deal. What made the deal work? Anyway, you're not going to say. I sometimes think it was the multi-level marketing 10 levels and the spillover, which is only just of the day. But it's got to be the staking as well. The staking now makes it, longevity very, very strong. Okay, which I mentioned on the previous slide. So let's get into the staking. So what if the students stop buying packages? I mean, they're not going to do that with the 10 levels deep and with what they've got to earn on that 10th level. But let's just say they just did for whatever reason. We sold to everybody in the world, the planet, and they stopped bringing in new students. So we've got Hexucation here. The money comes in here from the student referrals, the 10%. And the weekly payouts are every Thursday, 23.59 UTC, same as GMT. Okay? But what happens if the student referrals stop coming in? That's it. No money coming in, no weekly payouts. So this is where Miles came in. The lovely Miles, the most exciting accountant I've ever come across. He's an ex-accountant, but he's just, he's a great guy, very clever. He's brought in this staking protocol, which makes it longevity really, really strong. So 100% of what comes into Hexucation goes into a compounding staking form. I'm not going to get to the nitty gritties of how that works, but let's just say it's going to earn just under 100, just above 100% a year. I gave a great example of a company, some endowment company that's been dealing out millions and millions for years, and I'm talking for at least the last 30 years. Can't remember the company's name. Ask him if you're ever on a call. So it is real. We probably can't see it as a mindset because look at our Barclays giving us not even 1% a year. I mean, oh my God, gets me so frustrated. But we're going to be earning 100%. What happens? 100% goes into the compounding pool. 80% is staked back into returns to pay us every week, and it goes round like a lovely compounding interest wheel. Einstein said it, didn't he? The 8th wonder of the world is compound interest. Fantastic. It just builds and builds and builds. I'm going to read this a little bit here. So this means that we are not we're not just relying on early funders and existing students to attract new students and sell courses. After the £10 instant commission deductions, Hexucation stakes 100% of its weekly revenue, so the USD stablecoins aren't just sitting there all week doing nothing and wait to be paid out on the Thursday. To achieve this, we've decided to use a staking model which looks for the best staking opportunities each week, which will mean the highest possible yield. Because at the end of the day, you get a real good staking protocol, you're going to get people joining. The more people that join, the more shares that I've got to go out, the less people get per week, per share. So Miles and Clifford are going to analyze this. I think it might even be done by the smart contract on what was Clifford saying, on an Oracle kind of software, where it'll pick the best staking coins out there. So then each week only 80% of the stake is unstaked and returned to the early funders and students. The remaining 20% goes into a long-term vault and is staked until the yield reaches 1 million, baby. This great idea, which was designed by Miles A.A. Thomas, means that the USD stablecoins are not just getting paid out each week, they are actually growing the value of the Hexucation platform. When the 20% has matured, 50% of it is returned to the early funders and students. The other 50% is left to mature on the staking platform until it has also given a yield of 1 million, at which point the yield is paid out and the cycle goes on and on. The aim is that the vault will continue to grow and will continue to pay out on a regular basis. I mean, how exciting is that? If that's not exciting you, see you later. You shouldn't be here because that is just so cool. Right. So this is a little bit, not a difficult one, but the early funders will be shut down at some point, and it's 19th of March. We've still got lots of time left, but the early funders are people that have come in to donate to help build the company, to pay for the smart contract, to pay for developers, to pay for the website. There's 3 levels. There's a £10 level, there's a £50 level, and there's a £10 level, a £100 level, and a 500. It's all equating to the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So basically, there's 200 spots per level. 0.01 times 200 is 2%, which is 2% comes out of the Hexucation to pay the dividends to the early funders. Hope that makes sense. But there's a total sales of education packages per level. The students can also do the same. Let me just go back to this one. They can also sell packages if they hit the criteria of 10 sales to student. They can sell 10 packages, okay, or sell to 10 people. Crikey, get this right, Nicholas. They qualify for dividends for life. I repeat that. If they sell 10 to 10 people, 10 packages, they qualify for the dividends for life. Get the words out. My brain's fried. Early funders, like I said, there's 200 per level. The $10 are sold out. We've still got apparently some for the $100 and some for the $500. It's just to get a piece of the pie of the dividends from that staking that I just explained. Super exciting. This will close down at some point. I don't know exactly when, but yeah, okay. And so intermediate early funders cost $100, and they'll get 2% of all the intermediate sales of that level. So if you come in at the 100, you get all the sales of the intermediate. If you come at 500, you get the percentage, 2% of the sales of the advanced, split out to 200 people. I hope that makes sense. Students meet the criteria of, just forget that for now, meet the criteria of 10 students, and then they get the student earning dividend for life. Okay, so that's that. And then obviously that comes from what comes into the pot. So if it's just the $1 package and we have 100 people come in, just as a projected number, that would be $100 in the pot. The second week we have another, we have 200 people, new people come in. That's 300 total. That's an extra 200 into the pot, or a total of 200. Hope that makes sense. And then that's where it's then divvied out accordingly. And I don't want to get into the details of that because it can get quite complex. The staking vote, the student vote, the early funders vote, the top-up votes. But just know that Miles, Anne, and Clifford are making it where everybody leaves the party with the balloon. I like that one. So Q&A. I've probably left lots of gaps out. That's fine. It will get the brain going. Let's have some questions, and hopefully I can answer some of them. If not, hopefully Miles, Anne, and Clifford are on the call. I hope this has been educational. More than that, I hope you're excited. If you're not, I don't know what's going to make you excited. I don't think you should be here in the nicest way, because this is going to cover every base. This is going to cover people that don't want to refer. This is going to cover people in poorer countries that don't have a lot of money. This is going to cover people that need to earn money. This is going to cover people that can have passive income. This is going to cover people for years and years to come. Thanks for your time. Please get back to the person who invited you to this Zoom. Obviously, you need to get their link. The links won't be out until the end of April. Could be a little bit later, depending on how the development's going with the website, the smart contract, etc. Don't forget to attend the Zoom calls Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays 7 o'clock UTC GMT time, and I believe it's 3 or 4 o'clock Sunday. Thursday's the one you want to get to if you're new. Sundays is more for the early funders and the planning that goes on behind the platform and the website, etc., etc. I'm really looking forward to taking you guys on this crypto journey, and we'll see you on the other side. God bless. Take care.